Hello, welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Cirrus over there.
Hello.
He's too lazy to center himself today.
Ah, I see. And you're too lazy to move a source.
Yes,
Here we
that's
are.
that's how it goes.
We
It
have
do be
an
like that.
impasse.
It's a terrible, terrible impasse. I suppose I could try and figure out what studio mode does again, so I can do it without completely messing with everything. Do. Guest. No, that's the frame. That's you. So make that smaller. Move you over here. Make that bigger. And close enough. Now exit studio mode so I can see what I did. There we go. I got it mostly right.
Yay!
No sound on Cirrus' stream. Say things.
There we go. Sorry. So because I've not done the vertical YouTube thing with Zoom yet, I had to try to figure out a way to make our Zoom call look okay on vertical YouTube, and I'm 100% sure I failed. But I have it set up now at least.
Yeah, I am going to be a resistor to the vertical streaming on YouTube.
I want to be a resistor to it, but it is my career, and there are certain things about vertical video that I'm already resisting that I fucking hate. I hate making shorts, and I don't think shorts are good in general because we actually have data that shows that people who view a lot of them actually have higher risks of dementia. So I'm going to be honest. I
Making that content is kind of like seems borderline unethical.
it's I don't think it's unethical. I just don't want to contribute to it because there's a line where short form content can be viewed responsibly, and there's a line where when you're engaging with short form content, there are certain ideas you want to make for a video that simply do not work in long form, and so having the ability to do it in short form makes sense. Little 1 minute skits don't really work very well unless you're extending them artificially for long form. I think there's a place for it, but despite making a system where I can produce a professionally looking short in about 10 minutes so that I could do more shorts, I don't find that YouTube gives me enough reason to make them either.
Yeah.
Flair says the video looks sloppy right now. Yeah,
Am
it's
I
choppy as hell.
okay? Yeah, I was wondering about that. So I it should be better now. There we go. Yeah, no,
It's
that's I'm rendering this Friday's video and it's a long one, so it's still got an
it's
hour left of the render.
it's eating it, but yeah, things look improved now
Yeah.
compared to
That's
what
because
they
I
were a
paused
second
the
ago.
render, but I was kind of hoping to get the render done so I could upload it tonight because there's still an hour of rendering left.
But you can render it while you're asleep.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to post for patrons on Thursdays at 8 a.m.
Completely understandable. So you set an alarm.
And then I forget why I set the alarm. I roll over and go back to bed.
You name the alarm, upload my video,
You think I look at
Dinkelberg.
my phone when I turn off the alarm?
I do.
I just like flap my hand around until I find the phone and then keep swiping randomly until it shuts up.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not a morning person, Cirrus. Do you know how many pictures I have sent my partner of my tea mug filled with breakfast cereal because I hadn't had my tea yet, so it seemed like pouring the cereal into the mug was the thing to do. And then as soon as I did it, I went, oh, that goes in a bowl.
Jeez.
Speaking of dementia, have you seen that clip of Trump explaining why we can't have daycare?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, let's watch that clip.
We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare.
We can't take care of daycare because we're too busy fighting wars.
That sounds nightmarishly stupid.
That's because it is nightmarishly stupid.
Every word of what they just said was fucking dumb.
I mean, it's not dumb per se. It's dumb in the sense that that's what we've been saying for decades, it seems, about universal health care and daycare and stuff like that. It's like we're fighting all these wars. Why can't we just redirect that money to things that actually help people?
Also, you know what's a funny thing? So, you know how an argument was posed. I'm actually going to start recording this one because I think this will be a good video in general, this particular discussion. But there is an argument that I have seen on right-wing Twitter that has some saliency if you don't take any time to pick it apart, which is that the United States already does spend more on healthcare by and large than we do on defense. Technically, the raw number, it's like 0.9 trillion on defense, and then it's like 1.1 trillion on medical things. And that is supposed to be a cogent argument for the fact that we already overspend.
Ooh, holy shit, somebody just gave out 10 subs. Thank you, Liz.
Holy shit, nice. Thank you so much, Liz.
That's amazing.
But hold on, no, not right now, hon. Hello. I love you, not this time, as I'm recording. Hi, hun. Hello. How are you? But the point that was made was that we already spend so much on medicine that we shouldn't take away from the defense fund to throw more into it. But it ignores the fact that the reason that we have to
so
spend
much on medicine. Here, okay,
what
no, we're going to the same place. You just take it. You take it.
The reason that we spend so much on medicine when we do our subsidies, because our subsidies are calculated based on the amount of money that those procedures would have costed, but they're based on the numbers that have been negotiated by insurance companies for the black books. The black books being the really over fucking inflated numbers for healthcare that they have, because for anybody who's ever looked into how our medical system works, it is cheaper to manufacture medicine than you think. It is cheaper to administer medicine than you think. But those numbers are overly inflated to incentivize you to buy into insurance. But because those numbers are overly inflated, when the insurance companies have their conversations with pharmaceutical industries and with hospitals, because those numbers are overinflated at the get-go, when the United States is paying for medical subsidies, it is operating off of those numbers, not the numbers that medicine should cost. When you need an ibuprofen and you're in the ER and you would pay $200 for the ibuprofen because that's what it costs in the ER for some fucking reason, the United States is subsidizing that cost, not the actual cost of the ibuprofen.
Yeah, so the fun thing about that is in Canada, if there is an over-the-counter medication that you need to take and you happen to be in the hospital, if you buy it at the store, you have to pay for it. If you're in the hospital, it's covered by our healthcare system because that's a doctor saying you need this for your medical care.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there are people that can't afford over-the-counter medicine, so they will go to the hospital to have the doctors there administer it to them. It doesn't always work because, like, it depends, you can't go in for a headache. I mean, they'll probably let you get away with it once or twice, but we actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but record keeping in the States with medical stuff is not very good. Like, you don't have a central system where all the doctors can see your file.
No, it's not very good at all. The only way to have it be good for you is to buy into an infrastructure-based medical insurance.
God,
So me and Saki, we are on an infrastructure-based insurance program called Kaiser Permanente. And the benefits of it are we do get that centralized data. So like Saki was able to get her trans care taken care of way faster because she didn't have to start over with every
questions all the time.
Yeah, she didn't have to do it a billion fucking times. Also, Drellick, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate it. Chief Burbs, thank you for the raid. And Mion and Stankfoot, thank you for the resubscription.
Also, Mion and Stankfoot over here, thanks for the resubscription.
I'm also going to have to go in there and give Saki a kiss and a hug because she tried to come behind me and grab my head and make out with me, which I would normally love, but I was literally right about to say a thing like, nope, I am not being derailed this time. But one of the benefits of that system is that, yes, all of her stuff was able to be taken care of way faster. I was able to get on a weight loss medication really quickly. I'm down 8 pounds, by the way. I was like, it's been really good. The side effect of it, though, is that you are locked into the Kaiser facilities. If I needed to go to Wellstar, for instance, which is another hospital, they would not have any of my data. All of that is locked in Kaiser, and my insurance wouldn't cover anything over there. It only covers Kaiser facilities. So, downside, there is not a Kaiser facility within a half an hour from me. The hospital 10 minutes up the road is a Wellstar hospital. If I have a medical emergency, I have to kind of figure, if I go to the ER in the Wellstar hospital, it's not necessarily guaranteed to be covered like it would be if I go to Kaiser, which is fucking stupid.
Yep. I'm pretty sure the way it works in Canada, I'm not 100% sure because I just go to the hospitals in the region. But I think your medical information is tied to your health card, which you present at every visit. But it doesn't automatically go to the doctor unless you give them permission. Because they ask you every time, are we okay to share this with your primary care physician? And we always say yes, because why would I not want my doctor to know?
Why would I not want my doctor to know about my medical shit?
But like that's resulted in things like when I went to the doctor for the weird patch of hair that wasn't growing on my chin, she looked at my file and was like, oh, I see you were at the ER for such and such on this day. I'm like, I don't even remember that, but sure. I'm glad you have it.
Yeah, and you know what? I wish we had a system that worked better. But when people make the argument about the United States spending so much on healthcare and how that's bad, I go, yeah, I agree that we shouldn't be spending so much on healthcare. But I don't think I agree in the way you think I agree. I think that medical care shouldn't be as expensive as we inflate it to be, and it's expensive because of the insurance lobby that is allowed to negotiate that. Rather, the insurance lobby doesn't make it expensive. The insurance lobby guarantees that the black book part of the insurance wing can make it expensive. I need to be very specific on that because somebody is going to autistically hold me to the fire on it, and they will technically be right, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
That said, I'm gonna be right back real quick because girlfriend.
Be right back real quick. But I was gonna play funny audio that is perfectly relevant here. Okay, I'm gonna mute the computer audio for a second just to make no that mutes it for me as well. Fuck. Well, let's just hope it works and is exactly what I need and isn't too long. Oh no, that is not what I need. Oh. Here we go.
Luigi time!
There we go. Where are my glasses? I think they are beside my bed. If they're not, they might be on top of the bookshelf. Because I've been working all day, I've had these headphones on all day, I get sensory issues with the glasses being pushed into my skull with the headphones. So eventually I'm just like, nope, I can deal with a little bit of blurriness. I think I did hear that. That was a while ago, wasn't it? Oh, sorry, I should probably say what I'm talking about. CEO of Five Guys said I don't want to be Luigi'd. I think I did hear that, but that was a while ago. That's a long kiss. They make it out. There's some tongue in that one. This can come back, be like, give me 5 minutes. We're doing more than just making out. And yes, I think it would be 5 minutes. Now I want fries, but that requires going to the store or restaurant, and I'm not doing that. Yeah. So a fun fact about me. Speaking of doctor's visits, I have high cholesterol, so I need to eat fewer Baconators.
Okay, I exist again. And I have made up any hurt feelings that I might have caused by going, no, honey, I do not want your physical affection right now. I want to talk about medical industry shit.
Yeah, we were discussing how much tongue there must have been based on how long you were gone. But
No, she was in the shower, so not a whole lot.
I feel like that means extra.
No, that so when she showers randomly, it's because she's in excruciating pain and the hot water is helping it.
Okay. Now, you did leave right as I was about to play a very apropos sound clip. So just remember, we were talking about how insurance sucks and they make the prices too high just by virtue of their existence. So I found this sound to play.
Luigi time!
Just, no, apropos of nothing. It's not really
Like,
relevant.
So, have you seen the Mario Galaxy movie yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. So Charlie Day, the guy who plays Luigi in both the first and second Mario movie, there was an interview where he was asked who his favorite Luigi in recent history was, and no hesitation, he said, "Well, if I can't say myself, Luigi Mangione." Just no hesitation whatsoever.
I was like getting ready for a heartfelt thing about, because Charles Martinet played Luigi as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was getting ready for like some heartfelt thing about how much he has brought to the Nintendo franchise or whatever, and I'm like, nope, just Mangione. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Luigi with the squeegee cleaning up the medical industry.
Phoenix has more veggies. Oh yeah, I acknowledged to stream that I have been to the doctor recently, and I have high cholesterol, so I need to stop eating Baconators. And more veggies. I would love to eat more veggies, man. They're just so much work. Just when nobody else in the goddamn house eats them.
Do you have a grill?
I have a charcoal grill outside.
Oh, that's way too much fucking effort.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
it's not if you have a charcoal chimney. Like, it just takes a long time. And that is part of what kills it. Because, like, I don't know, like, when the little kids are with us, the ones that we only have for half the time, it is a coin flip as to whether I'm actually going to have enough uninterrupted time to cook something.
mm-hmm.
And when I say uninterrupted, like, I don't know, it can be nasty at times. So like, it's either a wait till they're in bed and I don't even start cooking till like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, or I just eat whatever they're having, which I'm pretty sure there's some ARFID going on there, because I get this every time I mention how picky they are. Everybody's like, oh, they'll eat when they're hungry enough. No, the fuck they won't. These children will be hungry forever. They will starve themselves to death if you do not provide food that they consider to be acceptable. Like, that was my mentality when I raised my kids, and my kids will eat pretty much anything you put in front of them. So I was lying when I said, like, I'm the only one that eats vegetables. They would eat them if I cooked them. But these other two will not. And it's just, when we also have a vegetarian in the house, it just gets to a point where, like, I'm cooking too many meals already. And yeah.
No, I can understand that. I was going to say the easiest thing in the world.
Some Fluffy Lent says, have you tried yet the starving part? So here's the thing. If we send them to school with food that they won't eat, we get calls from the school being like, you need to send them food that they will eat. It's actually, it's incredibly frustrating, because one of the things we've ended up doing is they'll have way too much food for breakfast, so that when they don't eat the food that we send for their lunches, because that's one of their things, is if it's not fresh, they won't eat it. So, like, you can't make anything and send it to school because they won't eat it because it's not fresh enough. So, like, we've gotten to the point where we are literally wasting food, sending it to school, because if we don't, we'll get the phone call knowing that they're not going to eat it, and then they just go all day without eating. It's bizarre, and I hate it. I wish they would just eat fucking food.
What I was gonna say with the vegetable thing, the easiest thing I have found, because I think grilling is the easiest cooking form ever. If
Yeah, everything
if
tastes good on a grill.
so, I have a wire rack that is supposed to be for putting things in my air fryer. That's what it's designed for. However,
You
I
use it as a
very
grill basket.
I use it as a grill basket. So
I have a grill basket.
easiest thing I've found to do is just toss a bunch of vegetables in the grill basket, throw some seasoning on them, and then just leave them on the grill and forget they're there. And then go back and grab them whenever. And suddenly I've got these nice charbroiled vegetables that taste great paired with anything that I am doing without any issues whatsoever. I didn't have to try for it at all.
Once the weather warms up and we actually start grilling again, I will absolutely throw vegetables on the grill. It's like it's not going to be anything fancy. It's just going to be like the frozen the big giant bag of frozen
that's what
vegetables
I
you get
do.
at Walmart. Toss a few, throw some smoked paprika on it because I love smoked paprika, even though everybody else in the house fucking hates it for some reason. It's so delicious. I don't know why they don't like it.
Just don't tell them it's on it. They'll never fucking know.
Oh yeah, my kids don't care. They will tell me that they don't like it, but they will eat it if I cook with it.
Agabri says, I want the summer corn stands. Those are real good. Love grilled corn. Man, you're making me want to go order Wingstop because Wingstop has fried corn on the cob that tastes fucking divine.
Okay. Mark Fernkoff. Oh, sorry, I can't highlight the YouTube things for whatever reason. I don't know if the thing's not working right now. He says they will wait till the adults are asleep and literally climb the counters and cupboards like a monkey to get the potato chips. One of my children, well, more than one have done this, but one it's an actual serious problem for. We regularly have to check their room because they will sneak out for snacks in the middle of the night, and then like they'll eat them and hide the garbage in their room. And it's like, well, we don't want mice in the house. And it's like, if you're hungry and you want food, like we're not gonna say no to fucking food if you're hungry. Just fucking eat some food. And like, if you sneak some snacks every now and then, I don't care. I was a kid once. I did it too. I sneak snacks past my kids when I don't feel like sharing. I still sneak snacks. So, like, I'm not really gonna be upset about that. But like, they have to hide them in their room, all the garbage from it and everything. And it drives me fucking nuts. And it's like, and it's stuff like, one of the things that the little kids will eat is toaster strudels. Super unhealthy. I know it's just sugar, but like, you know, whatever. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
I love toaster strudels. I think they're great.
Yeah, but we do not put the icing on it because it's already pure sugar. Why are we adding pure sugar to pure sugar?
I think you are wrong and a terrible human being, and I wish to dissociate from you as a friend.
Not with how unhealthily these kids already eat.
The toaster strudel will not be desecrated the way you have tried.
Yes, it will. But my what's it called? My kid. God damn it. He will steal the icing packets out of the toaster strudel if we don't get rid of them before he notices them.
Jesus.
And he will leave the packaging in his room. And it's just like, come on. Like, if you're going to steal food, at least throw it in the garbage. Or, like, at least be clever about it. They're on a chore rotation. One of the chore rotations is taking out the garbages. So just store it until you're on garbages and then empty it out when you can take care of it without anybody else seeing it.
Yeah, but that's the adult in the room thinking about how they would plan this out. The kid is probably not thinking that far ahead.
That's what I would have done as a child.
I understand. However, you're talking about kids that are allergic to vegetables.
Not this one. This is one that'll eat vegetables, but he just steals all the snack foods. So, I don't know.
As one does.
Food in my house is a contentious issue. I just want good food, and nobody else does.
To be fair, your definition of good food is going to be a little stricter than most people's just because you worked in the restaurant industry.
No, I am super chill about not fancy food being good food.
Oh, no. I'm not saying fancy food. I'm just saying you have a palate. Likely.
Yeah.
Of at least some variety.
Meanwhile, went out for a birthday dinner last night, and one of the younger kids got chicken nuggets from the kids menu and was upset that they were dinosaur shaped. To his credit, he ate them, but he was not happy about it.
These are the dino nuggies? Father, you know I'm allergic!
Oh, he gave me a look too, and like he asked for chicken tenders, and I specified to the server the chicken nuggets from the kids menu because like he's tiny. You don't need to pay $20 for chicken strips when we have chicken strips at home, and you could pay $10 for also chicken strips.
Oh.
But like he gave me some side eye when I corrected it to the kids one, and then he was all extra disappointed when they were dino shaped. Because fuck them dino nuggies. Olivia Williams for $6.99 says, they all want good food, they just don't agree on what is good food. I'm sorry, chicken nuggets are not good food.
I disagree.
They are a comfort food. They're not good food.
And that makes them good.
They're good food in the way that the fucking Roadhouse burger from Burger King is good food. It's disgusting and gross, and it'll kill my heart.
But you love it.
Maybe.
I just want good food. This isn't good food. I want this not good food. Shut the fuck up.
That's the problem. That is the problem, because I do like a lot of bad food.
Like, I appreciate that you
recognize-
want to be a walking contradiction.
All FPSs are the same, damn it. Okay.
Of course.
Hats. More hats from the Canton.
Fucking
Removing my
Robbie.
bisexuality.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Okay. Shall we do some news?
Sure. We can do the news.
Does
the news consent?
Well, first, Mark Fernkoff wants to know what the Roadhouse burger is. So, it's a double burger. So it's got 2 patties. It's got a bunch of bacon on it. It's got barbecue sauce on it. It's got onion rings on it. It's got a bunch of cheese on it. It's just basically all the stuff with the things that are worse for your cholesterol that they have in the restaurant. They throw on this burger. Not a single vegetable.
And now you found out that your
it.
cholesterol's bad.
Yeah. I didn't eat them often. We don't have a Burger King in town, so even if I wanted one every day, I couldn't do it because it's a 20-minute drive away. So I didn't eat them often. But now when I drive past the Burger King, I'm a little sad because I should definitely not be getting that. And I have so far been good about not getting that.
However, there are multiple reasons to get it. Like the fact that you think it's delicious as fuck.
It's so gross. It's so gross.
It's so gross, but you keep on saying that you're willing to risk your arteries for it.
But I'm not. That's why I said no to it today when I was at a meeting at the school.
But
And
will
it was
you say no
around
to it
lunchtime when I was
tomorrow?
driving home. And there's a Burger King on the way home from that school. And I looked at it and I was like, I am really hungry because I'm not a morning person. And this meeting was too early in the morning for me to have had breakfast before I went to it. So I'm extra hungry. And I'm looking at the burger. And I'm like, one surely won't hurt. I'm like, yeah, but I think that every time I drive past Burger King, so I probably shouldn't.
Jesus Christ. Chip, what are you crying about? What is... Oh my god.
Chips are another big one. I can't do chips anymore either.
Fine, Chip. I will let you out if I'm going to have
God
to
damn it, you
listen
leaving me
to my
alone on the stream again?
Come on, bud.
Yeah.
Chip,
I know
you
Chip is a
fucking
dog, but
engineered
Chip's the
this.
food is also one of my weak spots. That I'm not cutting chips out completely like I am with Burger King, because I love chips too much. But yeah, I will be eating less of them. So, what if I eat crisps instead? I'm Canadian, so when I say chips, I mean what you think of when you say crisps. But chips are easier to say than crisps, with all the sps going on in there. I'm sorry for people who are sensitive to sibilants. Okay, yeah, you can have healthy potato chips, you can make your own. It's not the same. It's not the same. I know you tried to do a funny. I know what you're at. My dad is from England. I know what crisps are. Yeah, remember the baked lays? They're not good. I mean, they're good, but they're not as good as actual chips. They do have the low sodium ones. I don't know if sodium affects your cholesterol. But if I do get, yeah, Rhino being lonely left on stream. Yeah, no, I got chat. I got chat to keep me company. Till the person who's supposed to be working with me tonight gets back. Shirking his job. At least my excuse for having McDonald's again this week is I had training this morning and need to eat before class for work. Yeah, there's always an excuse. But I have, when we end up doing fast food, I have transitioned to salads. Although, surprisingly, I found the Cobb salad actually has more cholesterol in it than the Baconator. However, upon some Googling, turns out that the amount of cholesterol you eat doesn't really impact the amount of cholesterol in your blood. It's more about the trans fats and the saturated fats. So I feel like a Baconator has more saturated fat than a Cobb salad. But I still will move to the friggin' apple pecan salad because it's a good salad too, and I like blue cheese. And it's probably a little healthier than the one with all the bacon and the egg and the cheese and the... Well, I mean, there's blue cheese in it too, but whatever. Yeah, so cholesterol is actually partially genetic. That was one of the things I learned when I was trying to figure out, like, how much cholesterol can I consume in a day? Like, is it okay to have the occasional Baconator still? And everybody's like, well, it actually doesn't really matter how much you eat. It's more about your genetics. But also, your body turns saturated fat into cholesterol. So, if I... Yeah, I know, that's what I'm talking about, Sean. I don't have to order the Baconator. That's why I order the friggin' apple pecan salad now. Were you not listening? But it doesn't make me as happy as bacon does. So my favorite flavor of chips, probably my go-to is Ruffles sour cream and onion. It's best if you freeze them before you eat them. When they're cold, there's just something about it that makes them taste better. But I can do sour cream. They make vegan bacon. Yeah, and it tastes like bacon the same way that diarrhea tastes like chocolate milk. Excuse me, my washing machine is making loud, crunchy noises, so I have to go see what is happening.
Ah, okay. Well, I am back to entertain everybody, I guess. There's gonna be a lot of stuff for... There's going to be a lot of stuff for K-Fox cut out of this one. Jesus. So, I figured out what Chip was barking at. Apparently, we got a food delivery. I do not know who sent the treat stream today. I'm going to assume Liz Chris because they've been super generous with stuff today. I don't know if that is the case, but holy fucking shit. Thank you. I was just thinking about making myself a sandwich as my last meal for the day, and now it's all taken care of by... tacos.
Yeah. Washing machine's fine. It just, for some reason, there was a package of batteries on top of it, and so when it hit the spin cycle, there was no longer a package of batteries on top of it.
I love tacos in a corn tortilla.
Okay, shall we actually do news now?
Sure.
Instead of talking about my cholesterol and how sad my diet is?
Yeah, Memory Martin says, now I want a pub sub. Damn it, now I want a pub sub.
I don't know what a pub sub is, but I think I want one.
It is a public sub that is made with boar's head meats. They are fucking great. They are amazing. Anybody who's in the southeast area of the United States almost always swears by them as like the best place to get subs, period.
Okay.
And they are.
Alrighty. Let's move on to news.
Sure.
Bible stories would be required reading under controversial proposal for Texas public schools.
Man, okay, so, fun fact. Before I started doing content creation, and I was just watching atheist content creators, I remember watching this kind of stuff the same way that I would watch an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I knew that there was no way in hell that was going to go through, but I wanted to see how it was going to be circumvented. That's... Because in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know the protagonist is going to win, you just want to see how he does it. Same shit here. I no longer believe that that is the case. I am now infinitely more worried about this shit because I've seen PragerU become part of the curriculum in Florida.
And we've seen conversion therapy become protected speech, or is on the way to becoming protected speech.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fucking stupid shit.
Actually, remind me of that one on the next story. But for
Taryn
now,
Master says Publix. I've had Publix subs. They're mid. I understand you have an opinion, Taryn. I also understand it's fucking wrong. It's okay. I also need to get a fork for this. Jesus Christ.
God damn it, Cirrus.
2 seconds.
Fucking hey. Ba-ba-dee-da-dee-da-do-do. Dee-da-dee-da-do. Ba-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba DMCA strike. That's assuming I'm good enough to actually trigger it.
Assuming you're good enough to trigger what? Who?
Oh, I did the hamster dance while you're gone.
That's
the one. Shh, no DMCA.
My favorite part about the hamster dance lore on the internet is that if you watch Disney's Robin Hood, that's also just the theme the rooster sings.
I am aware of that. I made that connection immediately because I love the Robin Hood movie.
You fucking furry.
I don't think I'm a furry, though. I just like the movie. Like, I know it turned a bunch of people into furries.
A bunch of people saw Maid Marian and they went, wood.
Yeah. Indeed.
Anyway, yeah, Bible stories, required reading.
I ignored him. I don't know. Where'd Jess at? I don't see a question. You say you pinned it, but I don't see which ones are pinned on my end because I'm bad. Jassa, you could answer my question. Oh, so earlier. Stupid quiz. Oh, are trans fats not illegal in Canada? Is that the question? Because no, they're not. They're very highly discouraged, but they're there.
They're not allowed, but what if they have a thyroid issue?
I don't get the joke.
I also don't understand why we care specifically about the trans fats. The cis fats are probably also pretty bad.
Oh, good lord. Anyway. So, let's just start the story over because, I don't know, we didn't get into it far enough to actually continue.
No, we didn't.
Am I still in the crate about being a furry? No, I'm not a furry. I'm okay if people think I'm a furry, but I'm not. Any hoozlebees. Bible stories would be required reading under controversial proposal for Texas public schools.
God, I'm so excited to live in this timeline. You have no fucking idea.
Yeah, so biblical stories like Jonah and the whale would be required reading for Texas public school student under proposals that are putting the state at the center of renewed contentious wrangling over the role of religion in classrooms. It doesn't have a role. It shouldn't have a role.
I would argue that the study of religion is fine, but religion as an apparatus should not have a fucking role in the classroom.
But they're also talking about, like, grade 5.
Mm-hmm.
The study of religion is something that, like, I could see that being a useful high school class.
Counterpoint. If somebody studied multiple world religions earlier, don't you think it would maybe inoculate them against fucking shit like Mormonism?
Yeah, maybe.
Because now suddenly, instead of there is only one road to the way, the truth, and the life, there's 15 different cultures that have 15 different ideas on this.
Counterpoint. You know that, in effect, the only religion that's going to be allowed, at least in the United States, is Christianity. That's the only one they're going to study. And if they study the other ones, you're going to have the Christian teachers that put their own spin on it. And like, people think Muhammad da-da-da-da, but Jesus da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I don't doubt that would happen. I would just hope. I can hope, damn it.
People asking which flavor of Christianity. The one that has the most power right now would be the evangelical ones, which I recognize that encompasses several denominations, but like they're close enough in agreement with stuff that I feel like they'd be okay with that. The Catholics might have an issue with it,
So
and the Mormons and the Adventists wouldn't like it either. But
the denomination that has the most power right now, I would say, is probably the Southern Baptists, only because most of your quote non-denominational churches technically just fall under Southern Baptists. They've also got a pretty big convention for themselves, and they managed to get themselves in the news quite a lot. Not just Westboro, but NIFB and shit. NIFB being a really big example of that. The thing that's scary with Christianity, though, in government, isn't necessarily which sect has the power. It's the way they specifically want that power to be wielded. I've been going on about this in a lot of different videos recently, but the Seven Mountains Mandate is terrifying as absolute all fuck. In short, for anybody who doesn't know what it is the idea that there are 7 pillars of society, like family, entertainment, religion, government, and that they need to control most of those pillars of society in order to further their ends. Now, where the further their ends gets depends on who you talk to. If it's the Southern Baptists, then the ends are actually the apocalypse. And that sounds very, very tinfoil hatty, but the amount of them
come right out and said it, though.
Yeah, but they come right out and say, like, we need this so that Jesus will do the end times. Like, it is one of those things, like, it sounds like it's tinfoil hatty until you hear one of them just fucking say it. Just like it sounds tinfoil hatty when you say that the crypto millionaires want to take us to anarcho-capitalism so they can have little mini states that they all control individually, until they just fucking say they want that, and then suddenly it's not tinfoil hatty anymore, but they've been doing it for years. Seven Mountains Mandate, Christians have intersection with the Quiverful Christians, and the Quiverful Christians are part of Baptist denominations specifically. That whole group is scary because they don't just want governmental power. They want governmental power specifically to enact not quite theocracy, but if they have control over every aspect of society, I don't know what other word you would use.
Man. Yeah, it's terrifying. And this is how they indoctrinate more people to think that this is the way to actually do things.
Yep.
So they're going over the history of Texas here. They say Texas became the first state to allow chaplains in 2023. Minor correction there. I remember covering that story. They didn't allow chaplains. They allowed schools to hire chaplains instead of counselors. So you can either hire a counselor who is actually going to help the students with potentially mental health stuff, potentially like finding placements in like work programs, finding ways to get into higher education stuff, applying for things like that, doing careers planning, stuff like that, and replace them with someone who's going to be like, but Jesus, though. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Have you considered serving Jesus?
The thing that bothers me about that the most is that it always ends up being very, very vague, because, like, the way to serve Jesus is always going to boil down to some kind of vague feeling about what you think God is communicating to you. And you can use anything on the planet as your North Star for what is considered a sign.
Yeah, and generally the Christians don't actually care as long as you give 10% of your income to the church while you're serving Jesus. It's not serving Jesus if you're not tithing.
God, it is frustrating. But no, I think that the way to fight this type of legislation is going to be the same way that we've seen it fought in several other avenues of the government. If you want to have Bible stories as mandatory teaching, then okay, cool. We're okay with that, but recognize that there are students of multiple religions there, so now they all have to be covered. Nobody's got fucking time for that.
Yeah, so that in order to get that through, it's going to have to go through the Supreme Court, and I do not have confidence in them making the right choice there. But with the way it's worded now, it's not even like I was thinking immediately malicious compliance. Let's tell the story of that time a guy chopped up his concubine after he sent her out to the men to let them rape her to death.
Let's talk about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, but
that
we
doesn't-
don't leave out anything.
Yeah, but that doesn't actually work because this legislation is specifically it's specifying which stories you are telling to whom.
Yeah,
now
they would be creating a curriculum of stories.
yeah, you could still have fun with it because one of the stories that is going to be mandatory is the story of Job, and so that's one where the Bible explicitly says that God's doing fucked up shit.
Yep.
It's not Satan doing that to Job. It's like God says to Satan, you have incited me against Job without reason. It doesn't say you have done this without reason. It says you've made me do it without reason. So, yeah, I feel like there's still room for malicious compliance, but they're going to clamp down on that.
Yeah,
Where's
the issue
Chaz?
that you
We need
the
Chaz.
issue that you have to do is you need teachers who are willing to specifically engage in malicious compliance
Yeah.
as opposed to just fearing for their jobs, because there's going to be just as many who are not going to have the balls to do it or simply agree with teaching Bible stories and converting people to religions who are children who them nor their parents consented to that shit.
Yeah, so I like this quote. It says, "Our children need truth," says Nathan Irving, a pastor and father of 8 from Myrtle Springs, Texas. So Nathan Irving, a guy whose job it is to lie to people, says our children need truth. "Truth is the only currency that never devalues. Investing truth into our children is the most loving thing that we can do for them. This is the truth. This country and this state were founded upon a Christian worldview. Like it or not, it is true." No, the fuck it is
truth
not.
does devalue because we have actual studies of how fascism functions specifically that show that there is an actual line that you can cross where truth does not matter anymore. It simply matters who has power.
Is it the line where Trump can say, "Oh, they've agreed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, so we win because that was the whole goal of the war the entire time"?
The Strait of Hormuz that closed because we enacted a war.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, the one that BT Dubs isn't actually fully open right now.
Nope. That's a later story. We'll get to that.
Cool.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, stream does show that I'm playing League of Legends and I am not. Hold on. That should be just chatting. Oops. I've been violating Twitch TOS for the past 2 hours.
Shut down.
Wouldn't be the first time. They have shut me down live before.
Nice.
Yep, it's because I showed a rubber bullet wound.
A rubber bullet wound.
Yep, it violated their rules on realistic gore.
Okay. How bad was the wound?
I was trying to make the point that rubber bullets do in fact cause lots of damage.
I figured. So not nice.
Yeah, so it was a pretty raggedy fucking wound. Like I'm not gonna say that I wasn't doing that. I'll just say that I had my reasons for doing it.
Should I flash my nipple and see what happens?
I probably not a good idea. The minute you say you're like non-binary or some shit, they're gonna go, "Well, we gotta cut it down.
But
Cut them in half, boys."
But I am binary.
Non-binary.
I have the boy bits and I identify with the boy bits.
We don't know that. You could be lying for money on the camera.
Okay, I'll prove it.
I'll prove it. Let me show you my boy bits. God, it's like the fucking girl I was covering on stream earlier who was just like, "What genitals do you have?" "Ma'am, that is a minor. What the fuck?"
Yeah, I have a point to make about her when we get to the third story tonight, so you remind me of that. But yeah, so some people are arguing that including biblical texts in public school curriculums violates the separation of church and state, which it does. Others say the list is too extensive, which and would be difficult to fully teach within the year. So they're not only are they making it required reading, they're being like, you have to do so much of it that you're not going to have time for any other shit. So fun fact, or fun time there. And others raise concerns that it'll limit teachers' ability to choose their own materials, which you'd think that state that is ostensibly all about freedom and my freedoms would want teachers to be able to choose their curriculums.
Nope, absolutely not. We want them to teach the Bible and nothing else. If it isn't the Bible, it's not good enough for me.
So I don't like that this was buried way down in the article, but we have the GOP-leaning board previously approved a new Bible-infused curriculum that is optional for schools to incorporate into kindergarten through 5th grades. It introduces Bible-based lessons such as the Golden Rule and stories from books such as the Book of Genesis into classrooms. While adopting this curriculum is optional, schools implementing it receive additional funding.
So it's not really optional.
Yeah, because schools are desperate for money. So
yeah, if you provide a financial incentive to do it, it stopped being optional right about that point.
No, it's still optional. You can work in poverty, or you can do the thing that we want you to do.
Ultimatums aren't options.
But Cyrus, I ask you though, how would we expect people who think love me or burn in hell for all eternity is a free choice? How would we expect them to understand coercion?
Well, considering that there is a non-zero amount of them that like shuffling priests who have raped children around the world for one reason or another, I don't think that all of them really understand consent all too well. So you may have a point there.
Yeah. So this is along the same lines as we see people. We've seen these apologists for decades now defending the biblical genocides and explaining how bad behavior of these cultures justified wiping them out. And now when Israel is doing genocide in Gaza, they're all like, yeah, no, this is okay because Hamas is bad, so it's okay.
But do you condemn Hamas?
Should we really? I do. Chickpeas are gross.
I don't think you condemn hummus.
Chickpeas are disgusting.
Chickpeas are delicious.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. You just don't like things that are quality.
Remember,
I mentioned you had a
stream.
I mentioned you had a palate earlier. I didn't say it was good.
Yeah, I will eat chickpeas. I just don't like them. That's actually my real problem with food is that I will eat whatever is in front of me, whether I like it or not. So the fact that there's so many different people who will only eat so many different things or whatever, like by the time dinner's done, I will just pick something out of the meals that we've made. Anyway, that's retreading territory we've been to. Let's move on to the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh boy, I can't wait to find out about how Donald Trump fucked this one up.
Now, this is a live update page, so it might be different from when I read it before. All my highlights went away, so that to me says that it is different. So Iran accuses U.S. of violating ceasefire deal framework as Israeli attacks on Lebanon continue.
Boy, howdy. So, maybe we should have checked with Bibi to see if he was going to violate any ceasefires around the time that we,
Israel would
set
never,
them up.
Israel would never violate a ceasefire.
They would never violate a ceasefire, not even once. Never.
They never do anything like that.
Not that. That's look. Yeah, no, not my boy Bibi. He would never.
Oh, damn. Oh, for fuck's sake. So yeah, Iran is accusing Israel of violating conditional ceasefire by continuing its war with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Don Lemon. Iran also accused the U.S. of violating multiple clauses of the deal. Iranian media outlets say Tehran is suspending tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, which we heard was open last. Trump mentioned it.
Trump would never lie to us, though. Like, I don't know why you would think he would lie. Like, that's just...
Yeah, he said the strait's open, so it must
You're
be
not
open.
even an American patriot, I think. I think you were sent here by Canada to fuck with the United States of America.
No, you're thinking of Ted Cruz.
Or Steven Crowder.
God damn it, why is he from Canada?
I don't know.
Okay.
And it makes me... It doesn't make me sad. It makes you sad.
It does make me sad, which is why I am about to pull up a Canadian palate cleanser. Just a second. Profile.
Now, what constitutes a Canadian palate cleanser other than, like, the White House?
Yunk. No, go up. Wrong window. Up there. No, full screen.
The politicians never lie. You're right. They
Window's
don't.
too small. Window's too small. Okay, I'll just do it this way. Boop. So Jeremy Hansen, the Canadian astronaut that is currently on his way back from the moon, said in an interview before he left, "I hope humanity will stop for a moment when 4 humans are on the far side of the moon and just look at some of the imagery that we are sharing and just be reminded that we can do a better job as humans of just lifting each other up, not destroying, but creating together." And he included some absolutely gorgeous pictures that they've been taking. Apparently they went to like 3 years of photography courses to learn how to like do the appropriate settings and whatnot to use to get these amazing pictures.
Damn.
But yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous. They are the backgrounds on my desktop now, some of them. And it's great. And I was actually kind of scared to look up anything about the Canadian on this mission because historically astronauts have had a right-wing bent to them. Like fucking Buzz Aldrin turned into a Trump supporter in his old age.
Remember, you can start off by saying, "No, you go up in space, it changes you. It makes you a better person." And then you come back down and you remember, "Oh right, I am still a human being. I can be a piece of shit for as long as I want."
Yeah. So I was actually nervous about looking this guy up because I was afraid I was going to find out that he's some right-wing douchebag or whatever. But he's up there. His mission patch for it, he had designed by an Aboriginal artist, or so that he could kind of carry the First Nations people with him.
That's nice.
They were having a moment where like one of the astronauts named a crater on the moon after his late wife, and there's a shot that you can find of them embracing each other in tears as he's talking about it. So it's like
those are the kind of stories that
that's
make
like
me
the
feel
opposite
good.
of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, that feels good. That feels nice.
Yeah. So like it's you know what, it is genuinely a beautiful thing that for the first time in my life I've been able to look at the moon and be like, there are people up there. There are humans up there. That's neat. Yeah. That's really cool. And here's the thing, like,
and the flat earthers are still going to say that we didn't do it.
Apparently Mark Sargent was pissed off.
Oh?
But for years now, I was under the impression that I was kind of over space travel. Like, yeah, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. I thought going to outer space, really cool. International Space Station, amazing. It's all cool stuff. I had a fucking framed picture of the space shuttle that I kept up in my house for years. But like for the last about a decade or so, I've been kind of over it. Like, every time there's a launch, like, whatever. When Musk sent that stupid car into space, it's like, I didn't watch it live. I caught a video of it later, I think. I don't know, I might have watched a bit of it live, but it wasn't that impactful.
Well, because you've lived in a world that's already had the benefits of. I don't
think that's it, because this, like, when I first read this quote, I almost broke down and cried.
Okay.
Like, I have never been moved to tears by just reading a quote before, and that basically happened. I think the reason I thought I was over space travel is because all space travel has been for about the last decade has been billionaire vanity projects. And I don't fucking care about that.
Yeah, that tracks.
But send humans doing science shit to advance humanity's knowledge to the far side of the moon, further away than any human has ever been before. Suddenly I'm back in.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so that's our good news break.
Okay, well, are we still on Strait of Hormuz shit, or?
We are still on Strait of Hormuz shit. I'm sorry, Piper. I don't know how the fuck you're gonna edit this one.
I'm sorry, K Fox. I don't know how the fuck you're gonna edit this one.
We are all over the place. They'll figure something out. But Yeah, no, so the Americans are attacking people. Israel is attacking people. They're breaking the treaty immediately upon signing it. Not treaty, ceasefire.
Ceasefire.
And all the news outlets are still reporting on it as though the ceasefire is a thing that is in existence. It's like, if you sign a ceasefire and then you start firing at the person you signed the ceasefire with, it's not a ceasefire.
You're not under a ceasefire anymore.
You are no longer with the ceasefire. You broke the ceasefire. It's gone.
You know what part about this has pissed me off more than anything, though? Watching, especially Fox News, but like watching everybody go like,
Trump.
You stupid leftists, you thought he was going to annihilate a civilization? He would never do that. You fell for it.
We can talk about that later. I have that tweet.
Okay.
Well, I have one of those tweets.
Yeah, because there's thousands. I was covering it from Fox News when they were literally just saying it on their program.
Oh, no. I mean, I have the tweet from the President of the United States.
Oh, yeah, I covered that too. But yeah.
But, yeah, okay, we can be done with the Strait of Hormuz and move on to something equally depressing?
Equally depressing is fine, I guess. I can handle equally depressing. I just can't handle more depressing.
States pass laws allowing pregnancy centers to evade regulation and countersue for damages. So
pregnancy centers. So we're talking about anti-abortion places.
Yes, if you're not familiar, a crisis pregnancy center is a place that lies to pregnant people, tells them that they're going to provide health care for them. It's obviously cheaper than going to one of the other things. And it would be like, oh, we'll give you a free ultrasound and stuff like that. But then they lie to you about medical stuff. And yeah. I'm sure Piper and K Fox are happy they don't have to edit the chat nonsense. Yeah. But yeah, so they lie to pregnant people in order to convince them to not get abortions. And they also sell abortion reversal pills, which don't actually do anything and can sometimes lead to harm. And they're doing it for profit. So this is why I wanted to bring up that lady that was yelling at the school children. Thanks for the hat, Con. Let's do Gary. So I wanted to bring up the lady that yelled at the school children because while I was poking into your stream, I heard her say something along the lines of, it's like, don't you know that those gender clinics make money off you? It's like,
your side does it too.
What do you think these guys are doing? Let's scroll down a little bit. Where are we? Okay, so many crisis pregnancy centers are faith-based with the mission of preventing anyone who walks in from choosing an abortion. States Newsroom found that 21 states allocate more than $491 million of taxpayer-funded funds to crisis pregnancy centers ever since the U.S. Supreme Court's Dobbs decision in 2022. So
that's fantastic.
$500 million of tax money has gone to these crisis pregnancy centers who the whole thing they do is lie to vulnerable people to trick them out of getting actual medical care.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like the age-old adage: every right-wing accusation
is a confession.
Is a confession. It's projection.
Yeah.
It's just another example of that. And like, it's one of those truisms that I know isn't really true, because there are plenty of people who, when they see somebody say something that they disagree with, like they legitimately hold in their heart of hearts that something bad to say was said. Sure, whatever. The problem is that it holds true enough of the time to be a truism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so related to that news item we covered last week about how, torturing children might potentially be covered as free speech.
Yep.
So apparently in 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down on free speech grounds a law in California that mandated disclosure if the pregnancy resource center was unlicensed.
What?
So
why would you not want to know if it's licensed?
They're pretending to provide medical care to people. And California was like, hey, if you're providing medical care without a license, you have to, they weren't saying you're not allowed to do that, which I think you should say you're not allowed to do that. They were saying, if you don't have a license to provide healthcare, you have to tell the patient that they're not actually a patient because you're not providing healthcare. the Supreme Court in 2018. So this is that was pre. When did Trump get his first appointment?
2018. I think Trump got his first appointment very shortly after he became a president, if you remember, because it was the seat that Mitch McConnell stalled.
Yeah, he was. Turtle Man was holding that up, but this was before Trump got all the appointments that he got. 2017 was his first appointment, but apparently it is free speech to not disclose that you are not actually providing medical care while pretending to provide medical care. How in the ever-loving fuck is that free speech?
You don't understand. When I go in there to cut you up and I don't have a license, it is a HIPAA violation for you to know that I don't have a license. Or some shit.
Like, just apply this to a fucking doctor, an actual doctor. Like, if somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, you do surgeries, right? And you say, yep, I sure do. But you're not licensed and you're not allowed to be a doctor. Do you get to perform the surgery anyway? And then be like, well, it's my free speech to not tell them that I'm not actually a doctor. Like, no, absolutely not. That's not how this works. Your Supreme Court is so fucking stupid. And that's before it got even stupider.
You wouldn't want to violate my frozen peaches, would you?
Yes, I would. Stick them right in the blender with some yogurt and some chia seeds. Make a nice little smoothie out of them.
Smoothies are good.
Smoothies are good.
I'm not gonna have a smoothie today because I already had half a chocolate bar, so like I have a much lower sugar tolerance thanks to my medication, but I think I'm gonna do a smoothie tomorrow. That sounds good.
Yeah, smoothie is actually how I get most of my nutrition in. Is I buy the overpriced, all the stuff you need in a little cube things.
Oh, I know those things.
Yeah, and I know it's not that much harder to do the mixture myself or whatever, but it's actually kind of it's mostly how much space it takes up in the freezer thing, because they are very compact. Whereas like all the frozen fruit that I would need to do the same thing is like massive bags and stuff. So
normally I would have something to say about that, but you've got a bunch of kids you're feeding at the same time, so there wouldn't be that much space in that freezer. It makes sense.
We already have extra freezers, and there's not a lot of space in the freezers. Anyway, yeah, I don't think we really need to go into too much more detail on this. It's just absolutely fuck your Supreme Court, fuck your medical system, fuck these crisis pregnancy centers. Like, my God.
Yeah, it's just kind of fucked.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why your fucking court thinks healthcare is free speech. Ugh.
So here's the thing. I am of the opinion, and I think you share the opinion, that the court doesn't actually think that. I don't think they actually are that stupid. I think they are paid to play that stupid, because Clarence Thomas has accepted quite a lot of fucking money and favors in his position that we've already come to the conclusion dude's corrupt as shit. This reads as the same thing to me.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Semi-good news. Pam Bondi is still being subpoenaed.
Yay, that's good, because it would really be stupid if shuffling her out of her position, like we did with Kristi Noem, just would magically stop us from doing anything about her.
Oh, they thought that it would.
Wait, did we have confirmation of that, or is that just
we have confirmation of that? So
really?
So the Justice Department, in a letter Comer obtained by Politico, in a letter to Comer obtained by Politico, appeared to request that Bondi be excused from testifying given her departure from the DOJ. Quote, "We kindly ask that you confirm that the subpoena is withdrawn. DOJ continues to believe that additional compulsory process is unnecessary in light of our demonstrated willingness to voluntarily assist your oversight efforts."
That's so stupid. No, you did crimes.
Yeah.
If you do crimes, like, okay, if we are going to be I'm just going to pretend I'm a Republican for a second. If you are going to be a law and order Republican, then commit to the fucking bit.
Right. Impeach Trump.
Yes. Instead of having Fox News go, he's not. Since when was it war crimes to destroy infrastructure? Nobody's saying that that's the war crime, but everybody is saying that bombing a fucking school is.
Yeah.
You fucking morons.
Threatening to do a war crime is not necessarily a war crime. However, bombing children in school is. So that's a thing you did. And apparently, maybe you've heard more than I have. My partner said that she heard it, but I haven't actually seen any. I didn't really look into it. But apparently they didn't just bomb the school. It was a double tap.
That's been Hegseth's method for a while now.
Yeah,
though.
I know. But like, I didn't know that it was confirmed that a double tap actually happened on the school.
The double tap is a war crime, though. That one,
I know.
No, like that one we actually do have
So
listed as.
They war crimed their war crime.
Robbie says Benghazi hearings, you say? But don't you remember? They blame Hillary Clinton for Benghazi.
Yeah, that was Clinton's fault.
Yep. They wanted to hold her to task for everything. But the minute that the shoe's on the other foot, no, they don't want that to happen. It's incorrect now. It's bad.
It's like if a fucking Democratic president was 10% as bad as Trump, he would have been removed by both parties unanimously by now.
A thing that I noted in my video earlier today was that if a Democratic president, or even better, a leader from another nation had said the words that Trump said, we would assume that it was a death to America type of thing, not, oh, he's only joshing. But when it's itty bitty baby Twomp, we have to pretend that he is a child. And we have to be like, no, we have to give grace there. No, there's one person you don't have to give grace to.
It's the fucking president of the United States. And it's the fucking president of the
U.S. The most powerful man in the world does not get grace. They get responsibility. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Every single person that's like, no, he's a good guy, but he's just in the pocket of Netanyahu.
So
don't
he's
give
not a good
shit.
guy then.
Yeah, like that makes him not a good person. I'm sorry.
That's
Nuremberg trials called, and I heard that following orders wasn't good. So if you're the president who has every ability,
if you are the most powerful person on the planet, following the orders of someone who is not the most powerful person on the planet, then that
you just look like a pussy.
Weight.
Like you just look weak at that point, and that's the thing that they hate.
But yeah, so Bondi is still being dragged in for testimony. It was originally scheduled for the 14th. But they scheduled that when she was still working for the administration. Now that she's not, they had to reschedule it because I guess if you stop working for the thing, then previous commitments don't count or something. I don't know. That's not how any of my schedules have ever worked. But what do I know? I'm not in government.
That's weird.
Yeah, I mean they're contacting Pam Bondi's personal lawyers to find out when she can come in. But again, I feel like for doing crimes, you shouldn't get a say in when you come in. It should be like, hey, you're coming in now, or this nice gentleman with the handcuffs is making you come in.
Pam Bondi net worth. Let's see here. Wow. Her net worth is estimated between $5 and $18 million.
That's smaller than I thought it would be. It's still bigger than it should be.
That sounds like the net worth of somebody who has not only plenty of money to travel, but doesn't need to worry about work too much. So her schedule should be completely freed up right now.
Mm-hmm. You'd think.
You silly leftists. Don't you understand? Net worth is the houses they own, the cars they own, the stocks they own. Oh, cool. So she could sell a car and then not have to give a shit? Wow. Wild. That sounds incredibly easy to do.
There's someone speaking in a Cyrillic alphabet in my chat, and I don't know what you're saying. But welcome to the stream. Or fuck off, depending on what you're saying.
Welcome or fuck off. I mean, it makes sense.
It's one or the other. I hope you're not watching this in your language with an auto dub, because it's probably not doing so well.
But it'd be really funny
Probably.
if it was.
Yeah, it could be.
Can you imagine auto-dubbed Vice Rhino? Any technical term he brings up, any at all, is just going to get mangled.
There is auto-dub Vice Rhino. I have gotten comments on my videos from people who do not speak English and have said auto-dub. And I still stand by that. I think auto-dub is it is somewhat useful if you don't speak that. Like there has been content that I have watched that is auto-dub that I wouldn't have been able to watch without the auto-dub. So I think it has potential to be a useful thing. In its current iteration, yeah, I know it's not great, but I don't know. I feel like it's a decent accessibility thing.
It's a technology with use. If there is, because we know the autodub is being done via generative AI. If there is one use of generative AI, and we know there's a handful in the medical fields, but if there's one really good use for it, it is in communication. Having something that can automatically transcribe or automatically voice the words of another person without the need for an interpreter, that is the kind of technology that we used to fucking laud from like Star Trek and shit. That's the kind of thing that we think is like future shit. That is a good use of that tech. Helping people communicate and come together, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable use of the tech compared to, stealing everybody's fucking work.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it learned how to translate through stealing everybody's work is beside the point, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. I don't have a counter for that.
There isn't one that I'm aware of. I mean, I guess a weak counter would be, well, the cat's already out of the bag, so why worry about it now? Because, yeah, the cat is out of the bag. No, we're not going to be able to put the cat back in the bag. But,
There is a conversation to be had about...
That's more of a practical thing rather than an ethical thing.
There's always going to be a conversation to be had about how ethical is it to use something that was taken unethically in the first place.
Well, good luck consuming anything under capitalism.
Yeah, but I am not enough of an expert in any field to speak on that with any authority.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to tweets.
Yay! What do we have first?
Answers in Genesis, because they start with A.
They
say, there's overwhelming evidence that most of the sedimentary rock layers were deposited rapidly. Most.
I feel like most, like the word many, is carrying a lot of weight there.
So even if this is correct, there are some that are definitely not deposited rapidly, like salt deposits. Those require long periods of time of fairly lots of inflow into a body of water and very little outflow, as well as a bunch of evaporation. And it takes a long time, and a lot of the salt deposits we have are incredibly thick, and they're also in between other layers that are, according to creationists, would have been deposited in the flood. So how did the salt happen? Right in the middle there.
I am still depressed that I live in a world that adults just simply look at all of the advancements we've made in science, pick up their cell phone, and then from that device of all things say, nah, the Earth, 6,000 years old. I have no proof of it, but, book.
Yeah. But also, I'm not even sure I would agree that most sedimentary rock was deposited rapidly. Sure, there are some. There are mudslide deposits that absolutely would have been deposited rapidly. It also depends how we're defining rapidly, because there are environments certain types of swamp will have deposits that happen on an annual basis, and you can get quite thick layers in just a few hundred years. And geologically speaking, that is quite rapid. Flood geology speaking, that's way too slow.
Well, flood geology, they need it to be within literally a handful of minutes.
Oh, seconds.
Yeah, true.
And that's not just deposited, that's deposited and lithified. Because there is, like, the way the layers are so firmly delineated with no cross contamination between them suggests that they were lithified when the next layer was deposited.
However, we just have,
But God,
I mean,
God did it.
God did, yeah, you're right.
God did it.
He did it.
God did it. God.
I think that I get frustrated with the God of the Gaps stuff. Not because it's a fallacious argument and therefore it's a problematic one to use. That's one reason, but that's more of like hyperfixation on philosophy as a reason. No, I think my real big issue with any of this God of the Gaps stuff is that it is the most incurious thing you can have.
It's to quote Nietzsche. Sorry,
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. I'm bad at pronunciation. That's part of my shtick. Okay, deal with it. So to quote Nietzsche, it is a rude and indelicate answer.
Yeah, it just
Like,
it bothers
it's not a
me.
satisfying answer.
It bothers me because I feel like there is not an actual moment in time where a child becomes an adult. I don't. And I'm meaning that to say
Yeah, I'm
specifically,
almost 40, but I'm still a child.
yeah, I'm meaning that to say specifically, there's this idea that we have in our heads when we're young that there is a way children operate, there is a way that adults operate. But once you get into the adult world, you realize that things like high school drama, they don't just fall away, they just metamorphosize into something different.
Workplace
Things like
drama.
things like childhood drama in general, childlike ways of operating, they don't fade into the background. It's just some people get a hold of that thanks to the benefit of time, and some people don't. And when the people who do not get a hold of those childish impulses are able to have power, for instance, in government, uh, I start to have a handful of questions about how things are going to go for the next few years, honestly. So, my point about that is that there is another idea that we get to a point where we stop learning because we're no longer in school, we're no longer being fed information. So, like, we've done our homework, we've done our part. It's time to go out into the real world, and you're not supposed to learn things now. You're supposed to know things, and I hate that. I hate that mentality, and I feel like this is that mentality. It's the exact same thing to me. It's an incurious mind going, I could investigate how the world works, but instead I would like to have a thought-terminating cliche that tells me how the world works, even if it doesn't offer any information whatsoever.
Millions of dead things buried in rock layers. Okay, I'm sorry, I forget the song. I haven't actually heard it in a long time.
You know, it
But that's one of AIG's thought terminating cliches that they turned into a literal song that is aimed at children.
Yeah, I do not like the idea of having an incurious mind. And fun thing, what is one of the things that conservatives have aimed at people on the left a lot?
Edumacation?
It's the idea that we are incurious. We are the ivory tower dipshits that look down at people who are working class and say, "No, I know what's better for you. You don't." That's a criticism that we get a bunch, not you and I, but broadly the left, Democrats as well, specifically. And yet this is the
Meanwhile, they
same
are
group of
literally
people.
funded by the elites.
Yeah, that too. But meanwhile, there is an entire religion, young earth creationism specifically, that is built on the idea that everyone should have an incurious mind. Everyone. And this is why we have transphobia. Like, this is the exact reason why it exists. You get people. You go on, sorry.
The video that I'm scripting right now is it literally every point that he makes in favor of God, he ends with, like, he does. Okay, he does a terrible job of it, but he does what seems to be an honest attempt at giving the real explanation for the non-Christian side of it, like how life came about and how the universe came into existence and stuff like that. But then, like, he gets to the end of it, and every single one, he's like, "Well, which explanation makes more sense to you? That the universe popped into existence out of nothing, or God?" And it's just like, well, if you actually take a moment to understand what's going on the non-God side of that equation, God is completely unnecessary. You can still believe in him if you want, but he's not necessary.
Yeah, to claim that he is a necessary property of your...
I was not using necessary in the philosophical sense. But I mean that too.
I'm not trying to mean it that way either. What I'm meaning is to claim that he's a necessary property of how you investigate the world around you is a little silly.
Yeah. And it's just it's sad because it's also like this person is very clearly ignorant of so many things that, like, it wouldn't be that hard for them to learn.
But in curious minds, people who have incurious, inflexible minds, they're just arrogant. That's what it is. It's arrogance.
This is the same channel that it's the Impact 360 Institute. They're the same channel that were like, hey, humans are complex because our DNA is 6 feet long if you uncoil it. And then if you take all the DNA from all the cells in your body and put them end to end, it's long enough to go from here to the moon 150,000 times. That's a lot, and it's complicated. Therefore, God. It's like, okay, you know that's just a bunch of copies of the same thing, right?
It's also just not understanding cause and effect.
And, like, how long something is does not make it less likely to be natural causes. Like,
penis long, therefore God.
Oh, the example I used in the older video where they went into that was, I forget what the nebula is called, but it's the one that looks, I think it's actually called the Finger of God Nebula. It's the one that looks like it's flipping you off.
Unaware of it.
You don't know the flip off
No.
nebula? Oh, good Lord. Finger of God Nebula. Images. That's, oh my God, why is there so much AI bullshit? Someone AI'd like a nebula that like looks like a literal hand, and it's like, no, that's not it. Hopefully this crops properly so you can see it. This one.
Oh, that's...
So it looks like God flipping us off.
God's just sitting there going, "You fucking liberals."
Yeah, so that's the example I use, is that one is, I think it's 2 light years across. I'm like, that's a lot longer than our DNA. Does that mean it's super duper complicated? No, it's just a cloud of gas.
It's a cloud of gas that's flipping people off.
It's a really cool cloud of gas, and if you believe in intelligent design, you must therefore believe that God designed this nebula to look like a rude gesture that only at this time in history do we consider it to be a rude gesture, and this time in history is when we can see it for the rude gesture that it is.
Well, God would have known that this time in history was coming, so, checkmate, atheist.
Thank you for the hydrate, Axo, but I don't have water with me, so fuck you. And thank you for the hat, Jassa. Commie hat time. Okay, back to the tweet.
Why is this time in history coming? It is very excited. Yeah, that's it. It's just very excited.
Because it got fingered by God.
I mean, if you were fingered by God, wouldn't you be excited? Like, the dude made you. He knows you inside and out, quite literally.
He knows every hair on your head and every erogenous zone on your body.
He knows. He knows.
Yeah. Okay, next tweet. Okay, so Trump tweeted his "open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards" thing. That was his Easter morning. I think that's actually the one I've...
That's the one that Tucker Carlson got mad at him for.
I don't fucking care about Tucker Carlson.
You
do not, in fact, have to hand it to Tucker Carlson, ever.
You gotta hand it to Tucker.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Neither do you have to hand it to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care. She's a fucking heinous, immoral piece of shit. Just because she's right about a thing does not mean you gotta hand it to her. So yeah, that was his Easter morning tweet. was the "open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards. Praise be to Allah." Can you imagine if a Democrat sent that? If a Democrat president sent that?
Oh, I can't imagine it.
Like,
Because
he'd be ousted immediately.
actually, no. I can imagine that world because the Obama is a Muslim conspiracies were one of the linchpins that they tried to use to get him out of fucking office. Not in a real impeachable way.
Anytime he did one of those presidential things where you acknowledge that people of other religions exist, and the other religion he was acknowledging was Islam, they freaked the fuck out. Just for him being like, hey, for those of you who celebrate Ramadan, happy Ramadan. Oh, he's a Muslim.
Yeah, I can imagine the world that you are trying to paint for me because the party that we're talking about already painted that world for me in fucking Technicolor.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, Brett Weinstein tweeted, "Trump, who I advocated for in 2024, has gone full Mad King. And considering my responsibility, I'd ask you to remember the case I made rested on the fact that Biden and Harris were figureheads shielding a cabal that couldn't be held to account, whereas Trump could. And we must." Counterpoint, you just described the Trump administration, but said that it was Harris and Biden. So, yeah. But then Sargon of Akkad piped in with this one.
Oh, boy.
And said, "I don't think any of us expected this full-throated neocon turn, given Trump's consistent anti-war rhetoric right up until early 2025. Well then, motherfucker, you haven't been paying attention for the last decade."
This is the guy who, because of his love of the strongman archetype, managed to tick all of the boxes on fascism, who lies about everything that he says consistently. Why did you trust the words he was going to say? Expect that if he says something, he's going to fucking do the opposite of it.
Unless, well, I mean, he does tell the truth sometimes. He said he'd be a dictator on day one.
He's certainly trying to do that. But no, my frustration here is that on the one hand, because it makes us look really weird, because on the one hand, we can't take the things that Trump says seriously, but on the other hand, when he says something absolutely fucking heinous, we suddenly kind of do have to take it seriously because we know that he doesn't think through any of his fucking actions.
Yeah.
The art of the deal, everybody.
We are truly in the most cursed timeline. Okay, Hunter Baker said, "I don't understand why any Christian cares about preserving majority for a particular race. That's not a category for us. If it is, then something else is under the hood of the vehicle, but not Christianity." To which Dale Partridge responded, "Yeah, skin color doesn't matter. Let's see how you do in sub-Saharan Africa."
But there are white people there. And the people who might attack you there don't attack you because they are black. There are going to be a bunch of other reasons that they might do that, but the color of their skin, the race that they are, will not be one of those reasons.
Also, like, white people be going to Africa all the time.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't fucking matter. But, like, this is just... Dale is full mask off at this point. He's just a racist. He probably quotes Numbers 25, the story of Phinehas, when Phinehas was rewarded for killing a multiracial couple.
How do you get through to somebody like that? Because I feel like there's a point in time where you can't. With what?
I said nothing.
Oh, you're right.
Next. So, MP Arizona said, "Just a reminder for Christians celebrating Easter this week, Jesus looked like the guy in the first picture, not the second." No, because the guy in the first picture is that one that I think that's the one that the person who, like, said that she, like, dreamed of heaven and that was Jesus, and so she painted that one. I think that's that guy. I don't think that's the reconstruction that you normally see for stuff like this, but whatever. He was a brown guy. He wasn't white.
The idea is he's brown, not white.
He wasn't blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Aryan. But then Joel Webben said, "Sodomites don't get a say in what Christ looks like." It's like, okay, neither do racists. He would have liked to look like the guy on the left.
Joel Webben, you think that women don't get a say in the fucking country? I don't give a shit what you have to say.
Yeah, but like, it's just, ludicrous to me that these guys are in like, you don't have a say in what he looked like. Like, no, we don't have a say in what he looked like. We're just saying what he probably looked like based on where he lived. The guy on the right would have stuck out like a sore thumb there.
Also, the argument is never that we have authority over what he looks like. The argument is, hey, based on the evidence that we have, this is what he would look like. There's no authoritative statement there. However, I don't think that Joel can see the world through any lens other than like severe hierarchy and authority, because that's the world that he wants. So he can't think of a world being constructed under any other terms. So when somebody says, hey, this is what Jesus probably looked like, in his brain, it is an authority trying to tell him what the fuck to do, because that's what he does.
Yeah. Conton83 is like, Navi, hey? Like, yeah, that is my partner's text message alert. When she texts me, my phone goes, hey.
Are you trying to say that your partner is annoying and tells you to do things that you already understand and you just wish you would fucking stop? That's really weird, my guy.
No, she just thought it was really funny. Because she's not huge into video games, but Ocarina of Time is one that she played through all the way, and like she is actually familiar with it and everything. And I forget why, like it was very early on in our relationship. We kind of bonded over that a little, and I made her text message notification to me the hey just as a joke, and it just stayed. And so
there you go.
Now, when I replay Ocarina of Time and I hear Navi being annoying, I no longer think she's annoying because I'm like, aw, my partner.
You're just sitting there in full bow rap mode.
Then I'm disappointed because I'm like, oh, I thought my partner messaged me, but it's just this fucking fairy. Also, Navi is really useful as a tutorial. Yeah, the first time. It'd be nice if she was skippable. Same with that goddamn owl.
The fucking owl! Yeah, no, the stupid fucking... Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah, because you're button mashing and then oops, I accidentally hit yes.
Like, no, I don't want to hear it again.
Yeah,
if there is one thing... there's a lot of things
Has that not been modded out?
I mean,
I'm
there's
sure
there's
someone
people
has modded the owl out.
There's plenty of people who've modded it out, but Nintendo themselves have taken it out. When you play Ocarina of Time 3D, the 3DS version of the game, one of the updates they did to the game was that the text is fast forwardable.
Ah, yes. Oh, yeah. Fun times. Joey Manorino says, why would you feel sorry for the same people who would do another 9/11 to us?
Because they're people.
Yeah, and not to mention that, but like, if you're in the States and you're supporting the Trump regime, then you are currently a person who is willing to do a worse than 9/11 to them. It's like, he threatened to kill 90 million people. That's few orders of magnitude more than 9/11, last I checked.
Yeah.
So I feel like if anyone needs sympathy here, it's not the people who, like, I don't know. Like, yes, the Iranian regime is heinous and immoral.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fucking same thing as Israel and Hamas. Like,
yeah, but the citizens don't deserve to die for it.
Yeah,
if the argument...
The citizens were protesting that regime before Trump went in and made their lives measurably worse.
Like, if the argument is going to be, as it so often is, that, hey, they're doing human rights violations against their people, that's bad. The follow-up is not, let's bomb their schools.
Well, again, to take it back to Christianity, they believe in they believe in a book where the excuse for why committing genocide and wiping out an entire culture was okay, like the reason it's okay to kill their babies is because they were killing some of their babies. They did child sacrifice, so we have to go in and kill all the children.
Yeah, that doesn't fucking
when
follow.
when that is a level of justification that you are willing to accept, then you're going to make bad decisions when you're in charge of military shit in the country.
Yep. I've said it before. I will say it again. This quote is not from me, but you will never regret being against war. You can regret being for a war. You can. But you will never, ever regret being against the idea of war. Ever.
I might want to push back on that a little.
Okay.
World War II?
So, what I'm saying against a war, I'm saying against the necessity of war. There is always an argument for self-defense.
Okay.
Just like I can sit here and say full-faced, hey, guns are fucking out of control in the United States, but I also believe that self-defense is a really cool thing. I think people should be able to defend themselves when random people are told by Kristi Noem that they are allowed to break into houses without a warrant.
I mean, y'all's cops are basically allowed to do that already anyway. Yeah, they need a warrant technically. Like, how easy is it to get those warrants just by saying, I think there are drugs there? Not to mention how many times they've just done the wrong house.
Again, the fact that there is any friction at all is at least a very thin layer of protection.
Yeah.
If you can tell a cop, hey, you don't have a warrant, leave, if that conversation happens, the minute that they leave your house, you have gained a measure of protection until they bring that warrant, and then things will be changed there. But now you have time to prepare, now you have time to get a lawyer, now you have time to get your shit in order. Like you have a non-zero amount of protection. How perfectly effective it is in all scenarios, United States cops are United States cops.
Yeah.
They're going to be shitty.
You know what? We need one of those crime-solving cop dramas that actually depicts cops how they are for real, as like just bumbling idiots who don't actually know what they're doing.
You mean the way that most of our stuff involving cops used to do before we started having federally funded propaganda specifically to change people's opinions on how the police operate?
I don't know that I would say stuff like that used to actually work. Oh, Heidi's in the chat. Why is Heidi in the chat? I thought you were driving home to come and see me.
Well, now she's showing instead of hiding.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess yeah, that's what the hey was. She's telling me she's done work. Anyway.
Sean says, and you can defend yourself with a sword, you can defend yourself with a knife, you can defend yourself with a laser cannon until the other person is using a gun. Like, if person's 10 feet away from you and they have a gun.
I happen to know, I overheard a conversation between two of my children the other day. If you have a katana, you can defend yourself from a gun by slicing the bullet in half, and then that'll make half the bullet go back and hit the person that shot it in the head and kill them. So you can defend yourself Jedi style with a katana.
You're right. Your kids are way smarter than me. Okay, that's fair. You know what?
Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure they were talking about a fucking Roblox game or something.
I forgot that people can be real life Obi-Wan Kenobis. You're right. You're 100% right.
Fucking worked for what's his face? Robin Williams with the coconut.
I don't remember that.
In Hook?
It's been years since I've seen Hook.
It's right at the end of the food fight scene. They all have the food fight, and then Rufio, because he's feeling pissy, grabs a coconut and is like, "Hey, Pan, catch this!" and chucks it at him. And then there's the most hilarious, like, slow motion coconut flying thing. And like he has like 5 minutes to prepare for it as someone tosses him the sword, and he does a spin and slices it in half, and everybody pauses and is like, "Whoa!" You don't remember that?
No, I need to see Hook again.
Okay, it's a good movie.
Oh,
there
yeah,
are
I
some
know.
aspects that don't hold up so well, but it is a good movie.
That's every movie that was made in the 80s and 90s.
Air Force One was perfect.
Okay.
As long as you watch it ironically. Because it was not made ironically.
So there's a caveat. We're going Starship Troopers the novel on this.
Yes.
Cool. I understand.
Oh. You remember when they made a movie about the American president removing a foreign head of state and throwing them in prison, and the American president was considered the hero through that whole thing?
It's really weird because we've done that now.
Yeah. I really wish that Gary Oldman and a bunch of fake Russians or whatever had hijacked Air Force One and Donald Trump tried to do the Harrison Ford thing, because that would not have gone well for him and the world would have celebrated.
I need to watch The Fugitive again.
That was not The Fugitive. That was Air Force One.
No, you mentioned Harrison Ford.
Oh, okay.
And it made me go, oh, no, I do need to watch The Fugitive again. Because the last time I watched it was in science class back when I was in high school.
In science class?
Yes.
Were they
our
explaining
teacher...
the science of how they got some of the shots that they did, like him jumping away from the train?
No. Our
'Cause
teacher...
that's actually fucking cool.
Our teacher would bounce between showing us a movie every now and again, like once a month, that had nothing to do with science, as like a, hey, you guys just did a test, here's something that you can watch that's going to be fun.
Yeah, but you can
Or
explain how they
sometimes
did that shot, because it's really fucking cool. And I'm going to mangle the explanation, so I'm not even going to try, but Corridor Crew has a video on how they did it, and it's pretty awesome.
But the other times we would watch movies like The Core, so that we could dissect the ways
Yes.
in which it was incorrect.
Excellent movie.
And you know what? I found when I watched that movie that I didn't pay attention to it a lot in class, and then I went home and watched it again, and then came out going, actually, I really liked that movie. That was really fun.
It was a fun movie.
It's
not for any of the reasons it thought it was fun.
Where are we? It's a geode. Like, oh yeah, there's just floating geodes inside the crust.
And the fucking lightning striking stone turns into flames exploding everywhere. Like, fuck off.
The scene where the ozone starts getting ripped apart, and suddenly, like, I think it's either New York or San Francisco is getting like warped by the fucking heat.
And everybody with
It's still a cool scene.
Everybody with a pacemaker just falls down dead. And then, like, a week later, after they've restarted the core, all the people that fell down dead, who were still in the exact same spots, just got up and was like, oh, I'm better now. It's so dumb.
It is a very dumb movie, but I like it. I
Me
think
too,
it
me
is
too.
dumb fun.
It is. Stanley Tucci is the best. Can't have a bad movie with the Tooch.
Trey says San Francisco. It happened to on the Golden Gate Bridge. Okay, then yeah, it was San Fran.
Scott Dillahunt says any movie where Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, and Bob Hoskins on screen together chewing the scenery is a good movie. Yep, that's great combination of and fucking Smee talking Hook out of killing himself. Like, it's so dark, man, for a kids movie.
Hey, sometimes the best kids movies are the ones that acknowledge that there is very, very scary shit out there, and it's not monsters. It's demons that exist in our own heads.
Ah, like, death is the last great adventure. As he's pointing a gun to his head. And the way that he transitioned from, like, don't try to stop me, Smee, don't try to stop me, don't try to stop me, try to stop me, Smee. Like, the way he did that transition, just, like, perfect. Dustin Hoffman's amazing.
Getting the fucking, you haven't played Resident Evil 9, so this is going to mean nothing to you.
No.
But anybody who watched my playthrough of it on stream will get it. It's the fucking, it's when Victor Gideon goes, I've done it. I've finally done it. And then he does, like, a villain laugh for all of a second and a half, and then his mouth clamps shut and he walks away instantly because he has shit to do. It is so well done as just like, wait, do you have a fucking disorder, my guy? That is not a normal person thing to do. Like, you did a villain laugh, and that's obviously not something a stable person does, but...
Sean Helfin's bringing up Day After Tomorrow. I also love Day After Tomorrow. It's so dumb. They're running away from the cold. The cold is chasing them. They're running away. Then they shut the door, and the cold can't get through the door because they threw books on this. It's so dumb. Oh.
I said, so I got a better one for you. It'll take one word. Ardax? Ardax? I don't think I know that one. Off of the top of my head.
Okay. Well, before we get distracted more, let's go on to the next tweet.
More tweets.
More tweets. Laura Loomer says...
Less tweets, please.
Iran just halted traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. Imagine thinking you can trust a Muslim to keep their word, she says after the non-Muslim people were the ones to violate the ceasefire.
Yeah,
It's like, a condition of the strait being open was the firing ceases. They did not cease the firing, so the strait is closed. I don't see why that's hard to understand.
Ardox and the Swamp of Sadness, Neverending Story. Okay, so Neverending Story I haven't seen since I was actually like 6 years old.
It's not Ardax, it's Artax. Artax with a T.
I'm from the fucking South, you knob.
What's being from the South have to do with seeing the Neverending Story?
The fact that T's and D's are interchangeable for anybody down here. Or the T is just fucking silent, like in Atlanta.
Okay, I live right next to Toronto.
Yeah?
There's two T's in that word.
So you understand.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
We do that too, but it's not our Dax, it's our tax.
Uh-huh. I'm not saying it's not.
I was very confused as to what you were talking about.
Fucking hell.
Okay. Moving on from Loomer. So
You're saying we don't want to loom on Loomer?
No. The Super Manif something or other says, your inability to see contradictions in science is not a valid argument for it. And then Udi says, mention one contradiction in science, just one, to which Stephen Davis says, insistence on abiogenesis when the law of biogenesis exists.
There's the law of biogenesis?
Yeah, it's a real thing. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
That's the one where back in the 1800s, Louis Pasteur figured out that you don't generate flies by leaving your rotten food out.
It was the counter to spawn theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, mice don't pop out of grain spontaneously. Flies don't generate on moldy cheese. The mold doesn't generate spontaneously. It comes from seeds and spores and eggs and shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I didn't remember the name of it, but I know which one it was.
Well, nobody actually calls it the law of biogenesis, except for creationists who want to contrast it with abiogenesis, because they put the A in front of it, and that makes it the opposite.
It's the only way that they can get a W.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you have to misrepresent something in order to make your thing look better, then does your thing actually look better?
And then you're just lying.
Mm-hmm. Well, this person is probably just honestly confused because they have believed the lies that creationist organizations have said.
Fun. I love everything about the timeline I'm in. I love going from a person making fun of people like Ken Ham because, man, nobody would take that seriously to, oh my god, enough people take this shit seriously.
Yeah. Transformed wife says, I don't go to beaches, lakes, or public pools. I have no desire to go where women are flaunting their practically naked bodies.
Don't worry, Lori. All of us are thankful for that too.
Thank you for the hat, Canton. I take my grandchildren to the beach in the winter when the beaches are empty. They have a great time collecting shells and running in the water. Can you imagine how sad their childhood is, like when they grow up and they talk to actual people who went and actually did fun things?
Had actual childhoods?
You're like, oh, wait, you guys got to go to the beach when it was warm?
What's that like?
I mean, to be fair, I fucking hate beaches. I'm right there with Anakin. Sand is nasty.
hate sand.
Yeah, I hate it. It gets everywhere. It's all gross and gritty and don't like it. But I recognize that there are people who like beaches. I love the beach. I don't understand it. But like,
I think it's fun.
I take my kids to the beach when it's warm out, even with all the naked ladies there. Michael Pearl told us at a conference we attended years ago that he never goes to any public body of water, nor to the malls. He takes God's command for purity seriously, and so should we. You're like, okay, well then don't look at what you don't want to look at. Why
do I care what Michael Moore thinks?
Michael Pearl.
Why do I care what Michael Moore thinks?
Like, I don't even know who Michael Pearl is. Yeah, no, I'm just like, I don't know.
It's like you've given me a name. And you've given me his opinion, and he is entitled to his opinion. I'm just trying to wrap my head around why I would ever give a fuck.
Yeah, no, it's a weird thing, that whole, like, I can't look at people that aren't dressed the way that I think people should dress. Like, that's a you problem.
Yeah, if you can't handle it, then I'm sorry, but your personal weakness is not my problem, and it never has to be.
Yeah. Oh, next up, Donald J. Trump. Okay, so
Hi.
this was the okay. I guess I didn't pull the I'm gonna destroy the civilization one. But we can talk about that here too. So he says Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump.
When Tucker Carlson covered this, his problem was that he said fuck on Easter. That that was his
I
contention
mean,
with Donald Trump.
at least he's being consistent because if Biden or Obama had said fuck on Easter, that also would have been a massive problem for him. So at least he's being consistent with that.
Like, I'm happy he's being consistent, but he's also stupid.
Yeah. Like more than once I have considered ditching the bow tie because it's associated with Tucker Carlson in some ways. Like when I first started with the bow tie, it was an homage to Doctor Who and I like Bill Nye. So I'm like those are the two characters that I most associate with bow ties. So I'm doing the bow tie. And then I saw early Tucker with his bow tie. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not sure I want to do this anymore."
It's like, you are now sad. Congratulations.
But then it's like, you can't just you can't let something you can't stop liking something just because someone that you don't like also likes that thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop playing Magic the Gathering just because the Quartering has got his Magic the Gathering channel back.
And Nixie Chan is saying, "Oh yeah, that was Taco Tuesday." So yeah, Tuesday they announced the ceasefire or whatever. And as much as like the taco thing does, like it describes what he does. He threatens and then he backs off. By all appearances, he doesn't back off because he's afraid to actually follow through. He backs off for the sake of the markets, so that he can make a bunch of money and all the people around him can make a bunch of money. That's what it looks like to me. However, to the people living in Iran that are hearing the president of the United States say, "I'm going to wipe that country off the face of the planet and everybody in it is going to die," which he didn't say those exact words, but that is effectively what he said.
If again, if any other leader of any other regime said that a civilization, the American civilization, is going to end tonight, we would have a declaration of war in about 10 seconds in Congress.
Yeah, but just picture a country that has nukes and has the ability to get those nukes past your defense systems. Imagine the leader of that country being like, "Yeah, I'm going to wipe out the United States of America, all of it." Like that would be terrifying. So like these people are living in fear for their lives because this guy wants to make a buck on the stock market. And so I kind of like, as much as the taco thing is kind of catchy, I kind of don't really want to use it anymore because
The thing he's chickening out of is genocide.
yeah.
No, that's perfectly valid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not here to police you guys. So like, if you still want to call him Taco Trump, I'm not going to complain about that. I'm just giving my 2 cents on it.
No, it's perfectly valid. Like, I understand the position. I I think that there is still utility in the taco thing solely because the right puts such an emphasis on his integrity and his strength.
Yeah. And it makes him
And
look
it
weak.
is, yeah, it has the utility of undermining that.
And I do get that. And that's why I'm not like, when I see that, like my gut reaction isn't immediately like, "Oh, I can't believe these people are still doing that. Don't they know how serious this is?" It's like, it's just one of those, I feel it's serious, but it also, just from the standpoint of like, like you said, like they need to project a feeling of strength, and it makes it very clear that not only is he not strong, but his weakness is very predictable.
Yep.
Frank Turek says, regardless of what you believe about the Bible, what can't be denied is that the Bible nails the truth about human nature and our deceptive human hearts. But the Bible doesn't just accurately state the problem, it also reveals the only possible solution.
So
Counterpoint,
Frank Turek,
no the fuck it doesn't.
so Frank Turek, let me get this straight, my guy. Your argument that the Bible is perfect, inerrant, whatever, is that the Bible said once that people lie. And that is your big point.
No,
And then
his big point is that all people are inherently terrible people.
they're not, though.
Yeah, but that's the message that his brand of Christian gets out of the Bible. That's what he gets out of the Bible, and that's what he's saying that nobody can deny is correct. I'm like, I do deny that that's correct. I don't think everybody is inherently a bad person.
No, I don't either. I think that it is accurate to say that everybody has the capacity for evil. Everyone. But to say that that is a necessary part of who everybody is ludicrous.
Put me in a room alone with Trump, and you'll find out that I do have a capacity for evil.
As people who read Lord of the Flies and tried to make it their entire personality.
I have never read Lord of the Flies.
But
I hear there's a pig head on a spike. Would that be Trump?
I mean, that is a thing that happened, yes. But I don't think that that would be Trump in that story.
No?
No, I need to reread it to see.
I don't even know what the fuck you're getting to, 'cause I've never read it.
Okay, so the takeaway from Lord of the Flies is that if people are left to their own devices, they will destroy each other. Because it's our inherent human nature.
I don't know that that's true, because our inherent human nature is what got us to where we are, because we're
that's why
social creatures.
That's why I'm saying that I don't believe that either. That's why I was making the disparaging comment, people who read Lord of the Flies and made it their entire personality.
Yeah. Okay, so Lord of the Flies and the Bible are on the same page.
Yep.
But the existence of society demonstrates otherwise.
Wait, are you saying that we live in a society?
Well, not for long.
A civilization will die tonight, don't you know?
Oh, goddamn. Okay, Yang Wen Lee says, I feel obligated to point out that the U.S. flag code does not specify where the blue field is placed, how thick the stripes are, or what shade the colors of everything is, so this is a 100% code-compliant American flag.
That's really funny, actually.
And this is one of those things where, like, it is technically true, but there are so many other, like, regulations. Like, it's every organization that would be flying a flag has its own regulations that actually do specify those things.
Mm-hmm.
But in the actual body of the flag code itself, this is correct. Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just ignore the fact that the spacing on the stars is off. And
so human nature changes all the time? Yeah, exactly. Like there is no one fundamental human nature, and I think trying to argue there is silly.
Yeah. Anyway, that was it for tweets. We done.
You know what that means, everybody. Well, actually, I don't know what that means. I'm hoping that somebody from everybody will know what it means, and then they will illuminate that for me.
Yeah. Are you still streaming after this?
I think not. I started stream earlier to get some of my topics out of the way, so I think I will be ending.
Okay. Well, people are saying Jake raid, so I guess Jake is online, so I'll raid Jake.
All right. Fair enough. Axel says, my human nature says I have to be attracted to the red characters. So you're a fan of Knuckles the Echidna, you fucking furry.
Uh-huh. All right. So thanks for joining me. As always, fuck off.